How we doing? Johnny Contra Podcast. We got Ledbelly. We got Tom. We got Dave. And we're rolling. And so the paraphernalia of the day, the swag of the day, is my Tesla meet and greet pass that I got. So Tesla is one of the best live bands of all time. They're fantastic live. They're always give an A+ show, and they're just they're so tight and they're so cool. And so this meet and greet was like at 4:30 or 5:30 or something like that. It was early, and so my girlfriend was getting off work, and we weren't going to make it. And so, but our buddies also had meet and greet passes, and they told the band, they said, "Well, these guys are going to be late, but they're coming to meet you and see if you can hang out or whatever." And then I used to work at the Paramount Theater, and so I know this lady Sharon that was running it. And I walked in, and I said, "Sharon, are we still on time for the meet and greet?" And she called up on the walkie-talkie and said, "Yep, go ahead." So we went up there. We found out, though, at the Paramount Theater, you're up on the balcony area and where the bars are and stuff. And then you go to the office, and then there's a long hallway down to the catering where they eat dinner before they play. And it turns out they were almost all the way down the hallway to the catering. They turned around and came back just to hang out with my girlfriend and me, Joanna, and me. And cool. I thought, dude, you guys didn't have to do that, man. You got to show it. They're like, man, we love our fans, and we'll do it. So it's just the two of everybody else had already done the meet and greet. So it's just the two of us with all 5 members of Tesla. We're just shooting the shit. And they were the coolest dudes ever. So, but I was really impressed because once you know, the meet and greets, I guarantee you, they get tedious after a little while. You know, they got to be tedious after a while. So for them, and then once I told you, this hallway is really long, dude. And once you're down there, you can smell the food, and you're like, okay, we just did all this hamming up, but so let's eat. You know, they're like, nope, we're going back to say hi to these 2 fans. So that was really freaking cool. Yeah, that's so.
I used to worship that band, man.
Oh man, they're so good, dude. Hang tough. And the singer always hits his notes, Keith, and Frank Hannon on the guitar is just, woo, so good. Yeah, and I kind of Frank Hannon pick and who's the bass player? The bass player's pick also. So we're in the front row. So it was really cool, and it was just, they're one of the best live bands of all time, and they're one of the coolest live bands, or coolest bands of all time. So
that's
there we have it.
That's nice when you meet a band that they're actually nice guys or whatever. And I opened up for a million different groups, and even some of the groups I thought I was going to like, there was times when I did not like them after that. I mean, they were the assholes. Or,
right, then you don't know if it's like just that night or if they're like that.
Yeah, they're just like that, period. But if you get a chance to tour with some bands, you know, I'll give a couple of cool bands I know that are super cool. Like 311 were really cool.
Yeah.
You know, Suicidal Tendencies,
they're
really cool.
You know they are.
And then, you know, who else was super cool? There was a bunch of them, but I remember Biohazard hated us, Fishbone didn't like us.
Yeah.
And I used to love these bands.
I partied with the Fishbone guys.
And they give us like a minute to set up. Doors open in like 5 minutes. You're like, you know, no sound check.
Well, but check this out. What if these bands are like, they're too nice, and when they let people in, that people take advantage of them. It's to borrow money and tickets and stuff. So they decided to adopt this asshole persona, but they're really actually the coolest dudes, and they're nice to a fault. So their manager said, "You guys keep giving shit away, dude, because they're so fucking nice. These people keep talking you into doing shit." They're like, "You gotta pretend you're an asshole." Okay, well, you can do that. You never know sometimes.
You never know.
But the topic of the day is if you are a great musician and a great songwriter, and you can write songs that are universally loved, you can put notes in sequences that tickle the brain and people remember, and then you use that power to write commercial jingles, are you evil? That's the question of the day. And I kind of, my first instinct is yes, that's evil, dude. I mean, you know, you got plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Older reference lost on younger viewers, but you know you got. I mean, that commercial's got to be 50 years old.
Or is it more evil? Or is it more evil to like if you have a hit song and then they take your hit song and use that for?
Well, that's a good point.
Now that's the deal. Now if you're writing the music for a commercial,
that's called selling out.
You use your talent. I think when you sell your hit song, that's when you sell out.
Well, it's selling out unless you represent something you are into. If you play Marshall amps and you do a commercial for Marshall amps, then that's one thing. And then you let Marshall amps use your song, that's one thing. But if you are selling insurance or batteries or something, and you're with your hit song, it's terrible. That's
Well,
called
yeah, I
selling
know.
out to me.
What about Janis Joplin, where it got sold after she died?
I hate Janis Joplin.
She would have approved.
She's nails on a chalkboard to me.
Or somebody buys the rights to your
but she had-
songs.
well, she had an
So, like, you
Mercedes
get
song
somebody
that
that
got
buys
used
your
by
rights,
Mercedes.
and then they could use all the Beatles
Well,
songs
that's your right. You
commercials.
sold the rights, but that's probably the estate, is what
That's
I'm
my guess,
guessing.
yeah.
So,
I guess it's the estate, yeah.
I don't know, man. I think anything you could use, I think, to make money. If you're a musician, you can write a catchy jingle. As long as you wrote it for that, and nobody knows.
But if
and
you're
nobody knows.
But if you're
or
Jimi
whatever.
Hendrix's family and you have the rights to his songs and you sell one of his songs for a crappy commercial, you're evil.
That's bad. That could be bad.
Although Jimi Hendrix did say, "When I die, I want everybody to play my music and to freak out and just have a good time." He didn't care, but in a way, he didn't care. But in the way, I don't, you if the person, the artist is obviously against something,
Right.
or then they have songs against that, then that's another topic I've already done a podcast on called selling out.
And what about when it becomes public domain at some point? I guess
It does. I think it's like 100 years, isn't it?
Right.
Some ridiculous number of
You don't
years.
have to see it.
Like anyone could use a
Changed
Mozart.
I think it's changed since I was taught that, but yeah, it's.
Well, we're gonna
How
have
about
to.
the
Dave, can you
likeness
look that
of,
up for us,
like
please?
the likeness of something like you
100
can't use
years
the
for
likeness of
somebody.
John Lennon
Well-
or whatever,
Well, good
Well,
point.
it's
Those are
copyrighted
all technical things.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to make is that if you could put an earworm in people's heads and they can't get it out whether they like it or not, then they're selling a crappy product or a product
Make
that
the association.
that's just like insurance is I guess insurance is whatever it is, but it's still selling a made up piece of paper thing, and then they try to get out of everything. They don't try not to pay you when you try to redeem your insurance. So if you're hawking insurance and you're a fucking band that sings about deep subjects, and you really care, but then you're selling some insurance to some knuckleheads. Well, fuck you too.
turn it into a soda commercial or something like that, or
might
who
hurt you.
knows what.
I mean, if you're,
Whatever.
well, kind of, but most people, I don't think. I don't know.
There's a fucking brand new commercial with the Bon Jovi living on a prayer or something.
What's the commercial
and it's
for?
that guy, that Peel dude, or that one of
Oh,
these
right.
comedians, and they're up there, they're doing the Spinal Tap kind of repertoire,
Right.
and they're up there, we're selling insurance today. They changed the
Well,
words a little bit.
I mean, I don't know how any self-respecting band can sell insurance, but
And then,
one of the worst ones was of all times. So here's my podcast on selling out is that some people are above selling out, and some people are like, you're like, what the fuck? And then other people are like, well, they're like Snoop Dogg. He's so cool, he can't sell out. No matter what he does, he's not selling out because he's Snoop Dogg. He's the essence of cool. But the worst one, the most egregious one ever was The Who. And The Who song Bargain. And the bargain is that he's so in love with this girl that he would swim the farthest ocean, climb the highest mountain, and he'd call it a bargain just to be with that beautiful woman. And she's so in love. Or it's 2.9 financing in diesel. Whichever one you choose, Is it like being the most in love, the deepest love you've ever felt? Or is it getting a good deal on a car? Which one's more important to you? I don't know.
It's the
But The
catchy-
Who's so cool, it didn't really bother me that much.
Yeah, the
but
key phrase works for any
it's pretty
product,
pathetic.
and someone had the right dime, so.
It's pathetic, dude. Right, but the whole point of like when you're in a band, you're a free thinker. You're a musician. You can't worship money unless you kiss. But you can't. Money's like it's nice and all, and it's whatever it is. But
I think
you
that is-
can't.
You're not authentic
It used
once
to
you're
be
taking the
that
money.
way.
You're not authentic when you're taking the money. And if you ever write a song just for money,
Now
that's
to
another thing.
make
Commercial
money,
jingle.
yeah. And the
Well,
artist,
like music
fashion,
scores.
there's got to be
Doing
some
music
hustle.
scores is another
Right, how
thing.
do you make
like,
money as an artist?
What if you end up like Danny Elfman or something like that? Was in a band, but then all of a sudden you do a
Oh
silly
yeah,
show.
but Danny
on TV.
Elfman
Now
does an incredible job.
he's really good at it.
And he doesn't really sell out.
I think it might be kind
he
of
doesn't sell out.
interesting.
His career.
It'd be interesting to do that.
He doesn't sell out though
Doesn't
because he
matter.
does shows like The Simpsons and he does movie scores that are badass. I think did he do Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
just
Tim
done some
Burton,
badass
He
movies.
He does everything.
where the music fits the
Danny
story.
Elfman.
I mean that's different to me.
Yeah.
That's totally different. But I think of the latest one of the latest ones. It's been around for a few years, but it's J.G. Wentworth. Those bastards. And that shit. If I see that commercial, I see it start, I have to turn it off as fast as I can, or it'll be in my head for a week.
It mocks
J.G.
opera.
Wentworth, 877 cash now, 877 cash now. It's just so bad, dude. And you cannot get it out of your head. And they're trying to hoodwink you. Basically, they're like, if you have a structured settlement, we can give you some cash now, or they're going to lowball you. That's the whole point of the thing.
Right.
So now they're hooking you on this damn crappy song. that you
your
can't get out of
attention.
your fucking head, then they're gonna hoodwink. They're gonna steal your inheritance too.
Yeah, at least you know their message. And you try to
So that's
analyze
evil,
it.
dude.
Yeah,
That's
but on the
evil.
other hand, tree farm, you know where to go.
That's right. Take I-25 to exit 269.
Dude, I love it.
5 miles
I watched
west
some
to
guys
the
do
tree
that
farm.
at the venue one time, but when that place was still open, the guys were like, "What band was that?"
That's a
Goddamn,
good one.
They busted into that live on stage. I
That's
was
funny.
cracking up.
Well, yeah, so that's a good point, though, because the tree farm is pretty innocent, you
That
know.
was one of the last
So-
jingles, though. There's not many jingles
Little
anymore.
nice little.
And
country
you're right.
hook.
You won't get lost. They're kind of helping you out.
That's right.
So I guess there's a gray area there. But in general, if you're J.G. Wentworth, you are evil. And if I ever see the guy who wrote that song, I'm gonna hit him
Oh,
right in the mouth.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll give you some
Right in
money
the
for
mouth,
that
dude.
massive settlement.
Good hook.
Promise
It's
you.
a good hook.
I promise you, I'm gonna do a combination. 1, 2, 3. Because that one just, I mean, it literally will sit in my head. You know, I don't even want to remember what it is because I can't think of it right now, but the new latest Burger King commercial. And that shit will play through my head over and over again. So all the time, songs just pop into my head. And I could hear in my head every instrument playing all at once and together and separately. You know, like if I'm listening to a Bush cult, or I'm hearing a Bush cult song. And what's weird is oftentimes it's not one I heard recently or that not necessarily even one that I like. It could be a Christmas Carol in June or whatever it is. But then sometimes it's that damn commercial that's sitting there, and then once it's there, it's gonna repeat, man. Somehow I can't get that repeat button off.
Catch
sometimes.
yourself dancing to it in your living room.
Explains
or
a lot.
Oh
something.
god,
Like, hey,
singing along, like
That explains a lot.
you're whistling it, you know, without even knowing.
last thing you hear
Catch
out the
yourself.
door, yeah, you're
That's
out
no
there.
good. That's no bueno. But then,
Perspective when it boils down to it.
but I don't know. So because think about this: if the person can write that such a memorable series of words and notes.
They have skills.
They write an amazing song that will uplift us? And I mean, you know, a lot of times I'll talk to musicians and bands, and I'm like, dude, you guys keep us sane, bro. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing, dude. Because you know, no matter what's going on in life, once you get to that concert, man, it's rock and roll.
How come every time you hit a commercial, you're watching a movie on TV, the music goes up like twice as loud.
That's true,
and
too.
the production value of that commercial sound is way better than even the movie.
Than the movie.
But-
and then you're like going, Jesus Christ, turn that down.
But
what
it
the
drones
hell's
it
going on?"
into. What if you're making people that are poor buy things they can't afford because your song is that
Right.
good?
Yeah.
That's evil, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, marketing
I
in
think
general
that's
is
the
just
point,
ridiculous,
man. That is
man.
some serious.
It's brainwashing,
Subliminal
dude.
brainwashing going
it is
on,
total
for sure.
brainwashing, dude. And even if you know it's brainwashing, sometimes you're subject to it. You're subjected to it, and you fall for it because it's
Right.
that powerful. Sometimes, I mean, there's certain.
Marketing.
It's
Yeah, I
just
didn't
crazy.
think of those angles. What kind of examples we could bring on that? I bet
Oh
there's a few out
man, it's
there.
terrible. Yeah, you didn't even know you were hungry till that Burger King commercial came on.
Tell us out 7 times.
That's great.
I don't even want
Oh, yeah,
to
it's
remember how it goes.
Marketing 101, though.
Yeah, it's not-
It
fun.
is, but if you're the musician, because think about the best music of all time. It was made not to make money. It was made to make a piece of art without influence. The best music ever made was not influenced by a producer or a management company or a dollar or a radio station. It was just made for pure art. And that's what the best music of all time was.
Those songs are what kill a genre. Or, you know,
I think I did it for another reason, but you know.
Well, unless you kiss and you announce right
you're
after
doing it,
that.
You're getting it for tail. I was like, I don't know
Well,
what you guys
that's
do.
why everybody does anything.
Hey, I don't know why you guys
But
got in the
there-
band. I know why I got in the band.
well, that's why, you know.
Traditional, it's a reverse dichotomy: sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That's right. Well,
Right.
my buddy Tommy used to always say, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but we got to eat something first.
Or you know, if I had the sex and the drugs, I wouldn't eat the rock and roll.
Because
Well, it starts
because the one gets
at
you the
bottom
other.
and go all the way up.
Good point. Good point. Why do you
rock
play
and
rock and
roll
roll?
is
See you
just-
later.
Yeah, you know, I like music like the next guy, I guess.
But the
you know.
best music of all time was just made for purity, not to fit a time slot, not to fit a market,
Right.
or a
And
genre.
traditionally, that's where
or
I was
a-
going. Is you have that.
When did that start for you? I mean, I started playing, I think, when I was 13 or something like that, 13 or 14 probably.
Yeah, but you weren't
And
around
man,
when
we
music
just went for
started.
it, man. We went for it full blast.
Absolutely, the dudes in the garage, dude, aren't
Full blast.
trying to write a commercial jingle usually.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
rebels,
there's-
dude. They're against commercials in general. Most
Right.
most
It's a different career
hardcore.
arc.
Yeah,
It
see,
is.
yeah, it might be like a younger thing, like your anarchist feelings about everything. You're mad at everything.
Well, sometimes you see the actual progression, though, because people, no matter how much money people make, they spend that much money.
Right.
Okay, for example, would you join a band that maybe you weren't really that into, but would you be the musician for a band that was like a very commercial band? Say I got the gig to be the guitar player for Taylor Swift or something like that. For example, would you compromise your own musicianship to go do something like that for a big pop band like that? And would you be happy back there making money doing it? Or would you be secretly inside wanting to kill yourself?
Well, that's a good question. It's a very good question. I think
I wondered that.
I could justify it different ways, but like Nunu Betancourt from Extreme plays guitar for Rihanna. But Rihanna's music is, especially some of her songs are incredible, dude. And her voice is amazing. So it's a little poppy, but it's pretty good
You're
music.
still getting paid to at least do something you're great at.
But he really likes that music.
But there are artists that are big sellouts.
He doesn't
that you
tour.
wouldn't wanna-
That dude was
I
a
would not
brutal
wanna-
guitar player, though.
He's a
man.
great guitar
Jeez,
player.
he was really
But
good.
yeah, he's I don't know. So that one doesn't.
Hired gun.
That one I understand.
Would you be
completely.
happy? Would you be happy though?
Well, he's happy. He loves it. But I don't know. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't. I mean, I'd like to
wonder.
think that I wouldn't compromise shit for anything.
Right.
Or change your
Getting paid
genre.
well to do a cover band.
Like say you start a new band. Yeah, we're gonna start a country band. All of a sudden, then it works. Next thing you know, you gotta.
Right, that's what
next
you
thing you
are.
know, you gotta be playing these songs.
that's the risk you
Now
take.
I gotta get a cowboy hat.
Watch next week. I'm going to be selling American to be a big American family insurance cover thing behind us.
That's how-
Yeah,
That's Johnny
yeah,
Contra,
yeah, yeah.
American Family Insurance.
Yeah. All the little partners come out here.
Oh, what do you forget what I signed last week, dude? Did you see how much money these motherfuckers gave me?
Oh, that'd be my luck, probably. That'd be my luck, probably.
But no, I'd like to. I would like to think that I would not sell out because money's a pain in the fucking ass. First of all,
Right.
I mean, I'd like to give it a shot, but it's a pain in the butt, dude.
I'll give
It's
it a
like
go.
I've heard.
my rich friends are miserable, my poor friends are happy. So figure that one out.
You got to be par first before
a
you get
mathematical
poor. I
measure.
think to appreciate anything that you can get, probably. But I mean, if you could try to find a way to be happy with almost everything you do, you never know, man. You could
Happiness is a function
open
of
up new
scarcity.
avenues of yourself that you don't even know about yet.
Well, my point of earlier was that no matter if you make $10 million and you spend $9.5 million, then you got houses and you got ex-wives and you got kids, and then the people from the Safe Farm Insurance come and say, hey, we'll give you a bunch of money right when you try to figure out how to pay the bills. I understand how it happens, but if you wrote a song that everyone worships and everyone knows is a piece of art and a piece of genius, and you sell it for a commercial, dude,
You're
that's
probably-
bullshit.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
probably stealing from your own
That's
savings
bullshit.
account, though, too.
Totally change it.
But I understand some people do it just because they see the solution to a problem. They got addicted to money, and now they're running out of money, and then they're offered some money.
Yeah, in a lot of instances, it works really well. The lyrics or whatever just fit perfectly.
Well, yeah,
And
if
they're
you're Kiss,
yeah,
Kiss
here's the
said there's-
money. Do you want it?
Right.
We're segueing into the sellouts, but that's all right. But Kiss, yeah, they announced they were sellouts to start. They're like, our goal is to be Coca-Cola, and they were, and they are. And so that's not selling out because you already announced your sellout before you sold out.
Right. In that sense, they had integrity.
The sellouts is Neil Young. That when he's
So
saying,
who's kept that line? Like where they haven't sold out. I mean,
they haven't sold out, but they did a commercial. Is that what you're saying?
there's been so much money thrown around that it's like I don't know.
Is Rush
I
Hour?
guess there's a lot of people that do
They
have
call you
that
a sellout if you
integrity,
write like
but
a love song. Say Metallica wrote a couple love songs later on in their career. They sold out.
The bigger
right
the
away,
band
but,
that you can get to,
I
put
don't
your
know.
name
Maybe
to
it's not
their
their
product,
line.
vice versa.
They got girlfriends too and wives. and
Well,
stuff
part
like
of
that,
it,
too.
a lot of it still goes back to my ant theory. My ant theory states that everyone feels like an ant, no matter how powerful you are, or no matter how much money you make or how well you're doing. You see on social media, everybody else seems to be doing better, and you think about you're exposed to so much on TV that and on computers that you see these billionaires and how they live. Kind of, and so you feel like an ant. Everybody feels like an ant. So everyone's trying to grab a little piece of power any which way they can. And so sometimes people say it's a sellout. It's just them trying to make a point, like they're in a group of people. And they're like, that band sold out. They're just trying to get you to have a little power in that little situation by saying somebody sold out without even really thinking through whether that's really their opinion or whether that really happened. They're just saying that
Everybody's
because people
a critic.
people walk around saying shit that they don't even know they're saying or they don't believe or they don't know why that's their opinion, and they can't back it up. People say that shit all day long, every day. So, but yes, Metallica did sell out, but then they got it back. So they're gods.
And saying
But-
so doesn't make you relevant.
But
But if you're in a commercial though, with one of Metallica's greatest songs for who knows, like Dish Soap or whatever, or something like that, or a Cola song.
well, if it's Unforgiven, bro, I'm out.
That's it. That would be it. Okay.
Any other song, I'll
I love
probably
what
do
they
it.
did lately.
Yeah,
No,
that
that's a
was-
good question. Though. That's a good question.
Oh, like one of your favorite bands comes out, and then next thing you know, it's a Tampax commercial.
Well, I better be careful
Or something like that. You'd be like,
because-
oh God, no.
hopefully we're fixing to find out because this podcast is going to be so popular pretty soon. I'm going to be getting calls.
Crazy, man.
To sell out to State Farm wants to back my podcast. And
Warren Buffett and so
State
on.
Farm, don't even
That's
ask.
been my
And the
whole
laws,
no.
and the laws in between that are also different. They could like steal your song and like change the song by one note, and then that's not really stealing that song.
You know,
anymore.
that's
they can
true.
steal it from you either way.
They just fuck it
And
up.
you get mad when that happens. That happened to us once, where we had a song stolen from a band that we won't name any names, but they're bigger than us, and then everybody knew that they stole our song, and everybody was all like, "Aren't you pissed off?" And I'm like, not really. Not really. I go, I'm actually kind of complimented, really, in a way. I go, that feels pretty. I knew they did, but in a way, it didn't really bother me, I guess. But it would if that song were to
the
go
commercial might be different.
super big.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I might be a little bent.
I would still be a little bit.
Yeah, if they
Yeah.
made the money.
But
they
it's
need-
just
That's right.
it depends how I like the song is. Because different people can have different like
Yeah, they didn't steal all of it. They stole
well, the
some
Rolling
of it.
Stones wrote a song about 10 years ago, and Keith Richards' daughter says, "Dad, that's a K.D. Lang song." He's like, "Who the fuck's he?" Who's K.D. Lang? He never heard of K.D. Lang. He didn't try to rip off her song, but he just happened to come up with the same notes as she did. So there's that.
That's
That can
inspiration
happen
from him,
sometimes.
yeah, that
that can
happens.
happen.
pop.
But that's a little
Vanilla
different.
Iced.
Though. But yeah, so I guess what was the other comment you were making earlier, though, Dave? You said there's something about that made me think twice about it being wrong, because it's just. Or think if you're trying to justify it to yourself. You're like, well, I'll sell this song out. I'll make millions of dollars. I'm going to give half to charity.
Yeah, right,
So
exactly.
you're kind of.
Not if this works out.
pretty
I'm
good.
giving half to charity. I promise.
You know?
I promise. I'll do it.
That's pretty
Oh, I
good.
wouldn't keep it for myself,
More
of
marketing.
course. You
You
know,
gotta do
I'm trying to
something
manage the
good.
fund
Yeah.
myself.
To make yourself feel better, yeah.
that could totally happen. I can see
I'll be
that.
executor of the fund.
It never hurts.
Never hurts. No, you become a nonprofit and your commercial goes to the nonprofit, but you pay yourself $10 million a year.
I don't need to get greedy about it. I just need to make a few bucks that way I can live. you know.
Exactly. When I take my Dr. McLaugh I'm going to turn it into a nonprofit. Well, I'm going to pay myself $200,000 a year. That's it.
Money
Not
work.
taking another dime.
Well, shit, you get too much money,
No,
you'll
it's
kill
all-
yourself anyways. probably.
Exactly.
We got
With the-
salary cap.
Hello, Kurt Cobain.
So we can take this podcast goes wherever it goes. You know, I was going to call it, but I digress. But here's the question: if somebody handed you $10 million, would you buy a 30,000 square foot house or a massive house? Would you guys,
spend
Belly,
it.
would you?
Oh.
Would you buy if I handed you $10
Naturally,
million?
yeah, it's
Would you
good
buy a
investment.
massive house or would you?
I'd spend it poorly for sure.
Yeah. You'd
Oh, I know
squander
what
it.
I would do.
I do
Finance
spend
the
on cheap
fun.
booze and expensive whores, or cheap whores and expensive booze. I can't decide which one.
I'd buy a cruise ship, kind of. It'd be like the Love Boat
I got it.
on the ocean. And I would have heavy metal
Put a
bands
tennis court in there.
playing out there, Suicidal and all kinds of
So
different
you
your
would
favorite
buy a huge
bands.
house?
Yeah.
It'd be like the bunny ranch
I
on
don't
the
think so.
ocean.
Would
I'd
you
spend
buy a
it
huge
poorly.
house?
What is
I'd
that?
buy a big ship.
You'd buy a big ship.
I'd buy a bunch
Yeah,
of shit.
the real Love Boat.
Oh man, that's a lot of work, dude.
Oh, you're a
Really
bad
poor
judgment there.
That would be
fun.
good. Yeah.
Glenn Valley, would you buy a big house?
Nah.
Like a big house.
modest. Yeah, big is.
I mean,
yeah.
I just don't think I would. I mean, you gotta. Then all of a sudden, you're like trying to go out and do something fun. You're like, no, we got to pick out China patterns, and we got to pick out the new
Right.
curtains for the conservatory. You know, we have another
that would suck.
conservatory.
Buy Dandy Dans. I'd like to buy Dandy Dans, maybe. And they call it Dandy
Put a little
Daves.
Murphy bed in the
Right, no,
corner.
if it looked like me, though, it'd be a rock
Just
club.
order more
shit,
golf
like,
carts. That's all I need.
It just depends on what the
Hey,
garage looks
what's your
like,
dream?
really.
What's your dream?
Which
You know,
garage?
hey, what?
But the
Yeah,
thing
which
is,
how many garages?
yeah, that's a total segue, but I mean a total non sequitur actually.
Yeah.
But I just don't think I would. No
I think
way.
I always wanted to do something cool for all the like guitar classes and different like the public schools and stuff. The way they have like shit ass guitars
Yeah.
in there. I always thought maybe I
Good
could
point.
buy all
Yeah.
guitars for every
Pay it forward.
school in the state and like replenish their music.
So if you did a
system,
State Farm
'cause-
commercial and bought guitars with the money,
Yeah.
then is it a bad thing? I don't know.
I mean that would heal my conscience.
that
from it.
lessens the evil for sure.
more church.
Okay, there
I
you
don't
go.
know if it's evil.
Because
if
we
you
had
do
some
that.
really shitty ass guitars up in school.
did you?
Yeah, they were terrible.
Well, but you know, sometimes the best songs are played on the crappy guitars. You never know.
Yeah.
We're doing, you know, Jimmy Connors had the worst tennis racket in the history of the world, the Wilson T2000. And he played one. He still has the record for the most tournaments won with the crappiest racket. It was like $7.99 at Target. We used to go get Prince Pros. They were $80, and we'd switch the price tag of the T2000. That's how crappy that racket was. We would use it as. And then the ladies at the front didn't know which racket cost what, so they'd give us the Prince Pro at the T Wilson price. And but that's how bad that racket was. But you know, so sometimes. But no, you're right. It'd be nice to buy the kids some nice guitars, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
like
was
that
just
idea.
kind of
That's
a
a great
personal
idea.
thing I wanted.
I understand.
Nothing
I
like
understand.
promoting music, you know.
But would you let State Farm use a Chaos Theory song to do it? or maybe not State Farm. I don't know why I'm picking on State Farm, but I'm just saying.
As long as it's
something-
licensed properly, yes.
Something that has nothing
Oh,
to do
well,
with
not
you.
if it comes down to like who actually wrote that song. If you go ahead and jump on the bandwagon and say, "Oh, we all wrote the song," there are a lot of times where, "Nah, I wrote that song."
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it gets complicated, and then
It does get
it breaks
complicated.
up bands, you know, because Lennon McCartney, you know, Richards and Jagger, you know, and they wrote that song, so they're the only ones that get the royalties from those
Well,
songs.
I know there's certain groups
So-
though that are kind of that's their specialty is commercial jingles. You know,
Right.
I mean, there's guys there's people like that, but to do all that, you got to be just like so involved in music. You know, you don't
You
just
got to
like
be a songwriter.
you got to be a songwriter, and but more than a songwriter, you got to know the secret combinations of notes in a sequence that tickle people's brains, and that's some tricky shit right there.
Now they're the
If
man
you-
behind the curtain, but
And if you know that, then that means you're a maven, and you know. So with great power comes great responsibility. You know, you can't just be hawking some crappy product to people
Right,
because
right.
they're going to buy it if you're that good. So then that's on your mind, buddy. That's blood on your hands. J.G. Wentworth, motherfuckers.
yeah, it's not so much as a few decades ago it was really frowned upon to sell it out. Now it's not even talked about because it used to be a big deal.
That was
right?
the whole
It's 'cause they're
point.
sold out as a
Fight the
society.
power,
The
and then you are the
integrity of
power.
your
Wait.
music. But yeah, it's
Well, Neil Young's one of the most egregious examples of that too, because he had the song "Ain't Singing for Pepsi, Ain't Singing for Bud," and then once I saw him at Red Rocks, that he had these AT&T lights on
Oh
the
my
side
God.
of either side of the stage that were so bright, and I was like, "Dude, if Mr. Ain't singing for Pepsi, ain't singing for Bud, he said, but he'll sing for AT&T, huh?" But then I'd never seen that before or since them do that,
Okay.
and then I said to
made
my
a
buddy, "I'm
mark
like,
on your memory.
well, I said, I'm sure they're going to turn it off during the concert." Nope, left it on during the whole concert. It actually was so bright it affected the light show of the concert.
So he's the ultimate hypocrite.
Mister, that's the ultimate sellout, ultimate hypocrite right there.
How about the halftime show for the Super Bowl this year?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't see it?
I didn't watch it. No.
Yeah, it was rough.
Bad buddy.
Wait,
What kind of name is Bad
rough.
Buddy?
Gilligan's Island was awesome, man. The rerun was sweet.
Gilligan's Island? What?
Oh, never mind. I got
What are you
confused.
talking about? I
That's what
sang
it was. The
Gilligan's
dude
Island
was
in my
running
last
around
one.
looking for fucking coconuts and shit. I don't know.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know.
Well, you missed it. That's
That
what
was
I'm
it.
talking about.
That was part of the halftime show?
Yeah.
Was,
It was
Yeah,
a
people
joke.
They
literally
ripped off
dressed up
Gilligan's
as
Island?
fucking grass.
That was bad.
It
Though.
was like the production. I mean, I don't know, man.
It was
just did
grass
not-
on the field,
Yeah.
and the
you have
reason
to
that
pay
there
to
were
be in the
people
Super
was 'cause
Bowl
it was too
to be
heavy
the
to fit
halftime
potted
show.
plants.
If you're the star that does it,
Oh,
you
the
actually
plants
pay
were
for that
kick-ass.
gig.
There's no, you
Oh,
don't
Oh
pay
yeah,
for
they were
that.
doing
That's
like
what they said.
drugs
What?
on the field.
Yeah, they paid to get
You
there.
pay to be at the Super
Green
Bowl?
Day was on the opening part
Green
of
Day
it.
paid?
No, Green Day, they probably didn't. They probably got something, but the
No,
main
they
the
got
main star,
something.
they say that you have to pay to be in that song.
What?
But Green Day, I met Green Day though.
about
Green
that.
Day, on the other hand, though, I opened up for them one time too, and they were some of the nicest people I've ever
Was
met.
that
That's,
right?
Yeah, they stood there and watched us play the whole
But they've got
set,
trunk
you know?
derangement syndrome. Though.
My favorite
like, wow.
comment I seen about the whole
I didn't even know who they
Super
were,
Bowl was
really.
Green Day had more guitarists in any of their songs.
Oh, yeah, yeah, 3 guitar players now.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
right.
for Green Day? I'm like, for
Good
Green
one,
Day?
good one,
Really?
good one. So, but I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and let them defile Gilligan's Island, dude. One of the institutions of our, one of the backbones of our current
the whole time I was
society.
looking for Ginger and Marianne, but they just never came out.
Oh,
The
Marianne
bushes
and
over
Ginger.
there.
Which one do you guys like? Ledbelly would take Marianne or Ginger.
Marianne is a bad girl.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I like both,
She's
too. I like
not
both,
bad.
yeah.
Oh, you guys are leaving out Mrs. Howell, dude.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Pretty
yeah.
foxy for an
She is,
80-year-old.
plus she's rich. Plus she's rich.
That's right, man.
Sophisticated, all right.
I'm
Yeah.
getting older anyway, you know.
She'd have you fetching her drinks at
Very
the.
dirty.
I would do it, too. Yeah, I would.
never know,
Okay.
you
Is
never
that selling? Is that selling out? I don't
You
know.
know, that's
She mixes a mean meat.
depends on
Well, we really got off the rails here.
No doubt. That was really.
But I still think and also the other point to be made though is just to think about that sequence of notes that will sit that you can plant something in somebody's brain and they know that they can sing it and they know it and they don't want to, even if they don't want to. It's because you put those notes in a certain order and with certain tones and a certain tempo that it's stuck in their head. And if you can figure out how to do that, that's pretty freaking
Get them
powerful.
to sing along. Even.
Really freaking
Isn't
powerful.
there already some magic sequence that everybody follows for the hit songs?
It's called 3 Bar Blues. 3 Bar Blues. It's always like that, man. I think.
That's true. That's a good point. But I was thinking it was the Close Encounters. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, that's an important one, yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah, well,
Aliens
that's
know
a,
that.
kind
That's
of
right.
an interesting facet of that would be what is actually the most, there's psychological studies on all this about what actually works, so I'm certain there's, certain melodies or sequences of notes or chords or
I think
something
your ear starts to
that are
learn
actually,
what's right or wrong, I think.
Right, but
hypnotic, if you will.
But that's what I'm
understanding.
saying, though. If you do know those notes, you do have the access to that power. You figured it out, and you use that to schlep insurance, dude. Then, that's
I
not
need to
cool.
know this.
Because they tricked us into buying insurance in the first place. If you think about how worked we're getting every day, all day by the big guys, then you're basically carrying the water for them. You're the lackey for the establishment.
So
dude.
true.
Right.
So if you're a musician, basically that's your that's the whole.
Gotta like that.
It's against your reasoning. Your
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
not your
destroy
joie
you.
de vivre. Your what is it? Your
With the guilt overcome,
you're-
like you see it on TV. Or talk about commercials on again. You wrote the song for her, and then would you feel guilty about it?
Good
Or
point.
would you
That's a good
feel?
point.
Would you feel
Right,
like?
would you be
Well,
proud?
they did give me $1 million.
Turn this up, this is my
right.
commercial.
Yeah, give me $1 million.
Like, can you switch that to something else?
You're in a party. You don't know everybody, and you're
Would
talking
you tell
shit.
people?
What do
Would
you
you
get
tell
outside?
people?
Turn
Hey,
that up
I
just
wrote
fine.
that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You're somebody's talking shit about it. The dude that wrote it sitting right
I
there.
wrote this fucking shit. And you're sitting there going,
I don't know, I heard a guy.
If I ever beat that guy, I would hit him right in the mouth. That'd be me.
That would be me.
But there's something to it, dude. You gotta. It's your raison d'etre. That's the phrase I was trying to think of. It wasn't a je ne sais quoi. It wasn't a fait accompli. It was a raison d'etre. Your reason for being.
Darn
It was
Latins.
against establishment, and then you do write a commercial. Let them use your song as a commercial. I don't know. I still got to go with evil. It's evil. That's my final decree.
That's a sellout for sure.
Yes.
Semi-evil.
Stop fucking with my mind, man.
Semi-evil. Yes, I
Semi-evil? Yes, I am.
Dude, so there's that Judas Priest now is selling Chevrolets. You've seen that,
Is that right? Well, Chevrolet's not a terrible product, though.
No, it's not. And it makes it like more hip.
The only time I've ever taken interest is when they had it was back in the 90s. Zeppelin had the rock and roll of selling some Cadillacs.
Right, and
the
then you got
high-end
AC/DC
Cadillacs.
selling Twisted Tea. I love Twisted Tea. It's one of the best beverages of all time. So,
Yeah, really?
and that's
What
but
tune
that's-
is it?
I
Have a
can't
drink
remember.
on me.
Shook me all night long, maybe. I just can't remember. But there's another thing is if you were backing a product you actually use and are invested in,
Right.
you think it's a very quality product,
Right.
then that's different. And also, especially if it's in your field of expertise,
Right.
like if you're selling Bose speakers or Marshall amps or
Right, you have
Schecter or whatever guitars,
Condoms.
Martin guitars or something. That's what you use, and you think they're the best, and then that's different.
Tough
That's
acting,
different.
tenactin.
Yeah, you got Shaq selling batteries. Like, what do you know about batteries, bro?
Insurance and all that. Yeah.
Actually, Shaq's pretty smart. He might know about batteries, but you know what I'm saying. If it's out of your wheelhouse,
It
and
is a
it's
fucking.
George Foreman and all them grills. No, he probably
those grills, they're
I'm
kind of
a
they're good, dude.
Redenbacher.
maybe he did invent it.
But he probably did invent it. And he's really hungry. He likes to eat a lot, so that one doesn't hurt me. And that's his product. So that's different. That's
We
different.
don't know which George.
Association is a big deal, so that's why
I didn't know.
Having the great music, something that somebody recognizes and associate it with your product. Boom, you
but
can
then you-
sell some stuff. So
Yeah, they do like you beat the Who, and you're like,
Who
dude,
didn't
you
know
guys
that?
are the ones that got me that great deal on my Nissan.
Oh man.
No, they're not the band that wrote all these amazing
No, you'd be all
songs
ashamed.
and killed it. By the way, that was a great Super Bowl halftime. Was
you'd
the
have
Who?
that coming, you'd have
They
that
were
coming.
killer. And they're like, oh, and why did they do an English car, dude? Why did they do Jaguar? They had to do Nissan. They're not Japanese.
Who would you endorse? What company would you endorse?
I would do probably Rode microphones and
I know I would
most
love
leather
to
jackets
endorse some
and
products.
A&G jeans and I don't know, something I used and loved, for sure. Maybe a Mercedes Benz I would do because I own a Mercedes Benz and I love a Mercedes Benz.
Janice.
They make a
It's
hell of
like
a
Janice.
product.
Yeah.
Yes, oh Lord, would you buy me?
That was the song they made. The
Yeah,
commercial out of.
that's
There's
true.
some local companies out there that need some help, so we get some talent amongst us. We can come up with a few ideas.
So that you were talking about earlier was Janice.
Yes, I
want
She did
that.
a Mercedes Benz
I want
commercial.
that.
Well, she did that song. Got used for a Mercedes-Benz commercial.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
that's-
thought, man,
No
she's rolling
way.
over in her grave. But
That's
had to be
pretty
her mistake.
fitting though, because
It wasn't her song though; it's a Chris Christopherson song.
Oh, it is?
What? Ledbelly
Well,
with the
I've
deep
heard songs,
knowledge, bro. Good one, bro.
I didn't know that. I know that.
Chris Christopherson's pretty
Me and
badass.
Well, I don't know. She stole the
So he wrote a lot of her shit.
Yeah, he.
Bobby
crazy.
McGee from
He wrote
him.
a lot
I
of shit.
might be talking.
I think it was Bobby
out of
McGee,
turn.
dude.
Yeah,
I don't think it was
Bobby-
Mercedes Benz.
Mercedes
that was
Benz.
a
I don't
pretty
believe
hippie
was her
song.
song. Is what I'm saying. So
You might be right. It was pretty rudimentary, but
maybe more traditional. But again, she's the
I
only
didn't
one
think
I've
she was
ever
that
heard
rude.
sing it. So I guess.
Kind of loud.
You're
not
fine.
kinda drunk.
no, but she was. But I'm not proud
All right,
of it.
we're
She might
going
not.
off
I know
the
they didn't
rails.
hire her to write it.
We're gonna wrap this episode up. But Dave, you want to play us out?
Yeah, I can play
Yeah,
something off my
play
show,
some song
everybody.
on the outro here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave comments, please, and tell us if you think they're evil. Commercial people are evil.
Now, this is kind of an example of like
consumerism is
riffs you
evil.
can do
Sponsored by
where you
Google.
only need one finger to do. Like
Okay.
everybody thinks you need a million riffs to do something.
only need your
Really,
middle
you don't,
finger.
you know?
Nice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy. Thank you, Dave.
Something like that. Simple. One
Thank
finger.
you. Good night.
All you need is just one finger to do it.
Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. Call the crew.